Hey everyone, Linda Edgecombe here, and as many of you know, because you're on my Facebook group, that yesterday I had the pleasure of going to Vancouver and seeing Michelle Obama speak, and it was gifted for Valentine's. It was a fabulous gift from my husband, but so many of you wanted to know, so what were some of my gems, what were some of my takeaways, and I thought I'd do a quick short video and send this off to you. Some of the things that I took away from watching this amazing woman actually get on stage. It was a conversation that the CEO of Vancity had with her, and honestly, the first thing I noticed about Mrs. Obama, and they called her Mrs. Obama many times versus Michelle Obama. I don't know why I found that kind of interesting, but is that she's a very tall woman and super stylish, which I think we all know that. But she had sort of an aura around her that I found really alluring. She's a very funny woman. She talks very casually. She didn't politic at all. She was classy as we would expect. But I just want to sort of highlight some of the gems that that certainly stuck with me. She sort of opened and finished quite strongly with, she goes, I know there's so much going on the planet. She goes, but you have to believe, because I've been, she's been invited around the world in her 8-year journey with her husband as a president, but she says there's way more positive on the planet than there is negative, and because the highlight reel that we see every day seems to be that there's a ton of negative, but truthfully she goes, please just know and stay hopeful that there is a lot more positive going on the planet than there is negative. She was in Vancouver because she was doing a program for young girls and young women to do a mentorship program, a leadership conference, and then she sort of highlighted the night with all the business community in Vancouver, and she talked extensively about mentorship and how important it is for us adults to mentor young women. The unfortunate and staggering stats that I found that she revealed about that the average high school girl today, at the rate of pace that change is happening of equality for women on the planet. In the 70s, I signed up. I was a card-carrying, glorious anti-feminist. I had it in my head that I was going to make a difference, that equality, I was going to be equal. Equality was my mainstay. She goes, the average high school student today, we're talking 2018, high school student female today, will see equality probably happen by the time she is 75 years old. And that is like staggering to me. She then sort of took her attention. This is what stuck with me the strongest of the whole evening, is she turned her attention to the men in the room. And I'd say the room was probably 60% female, 40% men, business people from across the Lower Mainland. She says, okay, if you are a man and you have daughters, and daily, as your children are 12 and 13 and 15 and 18 or whatever, and you're saying to these girls, you can become and do anything you want. You can, you want to empower them, you want to educate them, all those things. But she says, and then you go back to work tomorrow, and you go back doing the exact same things, you do business the exact same way. You don't allow the females in your companies to have a voice. You don't put them in positions that allow them to be leaders. Nothing will change, she says, until you men make some changes here. And she goes, it's truly up to you to fix this mess, those are her words, to fix this mess that you have created on the planet. This inequality, this misogyny, sexism, racism, all those things. And she was extremely passionate and powerful about that. She says the other thing about mentoring is that because we really need to look at young ladies and just get down to some of the basics. We need to help girls, young girls and teenage girls and young women, not just find their voice, but also help them learn to use their voice, so that when, not if, but when they are in a situation that compromises them, they'll be able to use their voice. Most young women and girls don't learn how to get a voice, and then how to use it, so that when they're in a spot where they need to say, no, this does not work for me, no, that doesn't, no, I don't want to have sex with you. Again, she was extremely blunt. Most girls don't even know how to use that voice that they have, so we need to help teach and mentor these girls around that quality, that strength, that resiliency that they need to work on. She says, and all young women today, it's maybe I'm probably coming off sounding like it was all heavy. It wasn't. She was actually very, very funny, and humorous, and used lots of just day-to-day life examples of her own mother in her life, her as a mother in her daughter's lives. But she says, I'll be honest with you though, the young women of today, the young ladies, the high school students, the girls and the young women in college, literally we're going to have to push 5 times harder than their male counterparts if they actually want to get somewhere, go somewhere, and become who they want to become in this crazy planet of ours. But she did say at the end, sort of to wrap it all up, again, she goes, I can't emphasize it enough. There's way more good on the planet. There's way more good people than there is negative. And basically what we're seeing is the highlight reel of all the not so great. So she says, I really hope that we all remain hopeful because it's way better than the alternative. She says, don't go down the rabbit hole of the Twitter feeds and the Facebook feeds and negative, the haters. Haters are going to hate. She goes, don't even read it. Use social media only for positive and just remain hopeful. So I hope you enjoyed those. I know there's way more, and there's probably some fantastic quotes that I'm missing, but it was truly a privilege to see this woman in Vancouver last night. Talk to you soon. Linda Edgecombe.